My name's Harry Tambuatko. We're back in the second part of our show. One time big time is the topic, as I've explained. The one time big time is the solution called Let's Change the Charter Once and for All. With us, we have Quintin Paredes San Diego, Chairman, MAD Against Dynasty, together with Edgar Bakungan, Crusade Against Dynasty and Corruption. So, gentlemen, ang issue natin, we go back to the COMELEC. O, sige, mag-initiative tayo. I think we can make the 5.6, even 8 million, even 10 million. Madali kunin sa Pilipino yun na gusto nila palitan. Kasi ngayon, alam mo, Facebook lang mga social sites, mga Twitter. Hindi ako makapaniwala Kaya hindi ko maintindihan bakit ng Malacanang ang pilit na parang okay pa rin sila. Kung lahat ng tao sa Facebook, iisa maybe yung pro-noy-noy Puro antay na, galit lahat sa pork barrel, galit sa DAP, galit din sa mga issue ng Sabah, galit sa Zamboanga issue, walang pagkain, kay Alcala, kay Kalawag, di ba? The price of rice, ang daming issue Tama kayo. One time, big time is a solution. Explain to us how we're gonna do it. First, initiative.
Yes, this is how we understand it. We'll go to the people. Well, of course, we'll explain to the people what it is all about. And then
these are all the groups that are filing
all
the
the groups should be one in this. Should be
kasi
one.
marami yan. Marami na tayo ngayon. Marami na ngayon advocacy.
They can now talk about their advocacy. We can talk about ours.
Correct.
But the whole thing is for a common goal, which is charter change. One time, big time, where all of these issues will be taken up at one sitting by the Constitutional Convention. Now,
kaya ba natin? Kasi yung 3% per district.
Kaya natin, Harry, kasi yung 1997
charter change.
Political charter change, they were able to gather 10 million.
That time.
That's what I would think, 8 to 10 million kayang-kaya.
Registered voter signature. Naging problema lang nila, only 2 of the congressional districts were not able to deliver the 3% required by law. Doon lang natalo. Natapon lahat yung 10 million na yun.
Siyempre.
Pero this time, we are confident because everybody has the same interest, which interest does not even compare with the interest of 1997.
Ibang-iba
lahat ng tao na...
Galit sa pork. Yung pa lang
Galit na sa magnanakaw dahil ninakawan na tayo lahat, harap-harapan na yan, aminado na yan, pinag-usapan na yan, alam na natin lahat. At ang sitwasyon natin sa bansa, sa Asia, ay tayo ang pinakakulelat, pinakabulok na airport, yun sinasabi mo. So, galit na ang tao dyan. So, ang gagawin natin ngayon, we will first ask those advocates to get together, sit at one time, and then really discuss how we're going to do it. We will divide ourselves nationwide.
So you would need an assembly of all the advocacies.
Yes.
Which you already know them, most of them.
Yes.
Mas kilala nyo na after the last year of promoting this.
Yes. They will just have to conform with your idea here that iisa lang ang dapat nating harapin itong one time big time.
Kasi it'll address all
I don't think anyone would go against this. So now, the gathering of signatures ang requirement is registered voters.
Correct.
Now, there are a group of people who has technological capacity to identify each and every registered voters. You won't believe this. All over the country.
Meron
with one push of a button.
Meron Hindi Senpeg Iba pa.
Iba yan. Private group to. So, they can identify who are the voters registered. Pag nakuha na natin lahat yun, we will present it to COMELEC. And COMELEC, ang gagawin ng COMELEC is to verify.
Verify lang.
Whether Harry Tambuatko's signature, ito, ganon. Once it is verified, then they will have to put it on a referendum.
Correct.
Yes or no sa tao. Natural.
Okay.
If you get the requirement of the law, it
Timetable, more or less. First, between now and the assembly, do you expect? 3-6 months.
The 10 million signatures of 1997, we understand it took them only 10 months.
Ba, bilis Not
Bilis.
bad.
10 months.
It will be quicker this time.
Ngayon itong people's, Ed, yung kasama natin sila, sila Norman? People's
PICAD, yeah.
PICAD,
People's Initiative, Coalition
Coalition
Against Dynasty.
Dynasty. They have already an organization,
It's an organization.
nationwide organization. That would be very ideal for all of these groups to join and get into the bandwagon. Plus, yung sinasabi ko sa yung technical people, we will be able to succeed in doing this.
So you're talking maybe 6 months. Let's assume even 10 months.
6 months.
Even 10, it's still acceptable.
10.
And besides, Harry, if you mind, it's easier now to convince the people. The pork barrel discount was a blessing to us. Because lahat yung mga tao, every time they go to government or to this policy, walang pera gobyerno eh.
Puro ganun eh.
Walang pera.
Parating
Bakit walang
walang
mga
pera.
facilities niyan? Kailangan ng comfort
Walang
room
pera
yan.
eh, walang
pera eh. Suddenly, this is scam. Itong COA, yung pork barrel scam, lumabas. Ang daming billion-billion.
Ang dami billion.
So galit na tao. Ang kumakain pala ng pera ng tao ay mga politikong ito.
Pero actually, matagal na natin alam yun eh.
Yeah, but the people now, realize there is figure certified by the Commission on Audit.
We put a face on the devil. It's called Napoles.
That's the point.
Ang problema, nag-mutate.
Nag-mute.
And there are charges filed already, kaya lang kulang. No?
Kaya yung signature campaign, siguro baka 15 million easy.
So, let's assume we get the initiative. We go through COMELEC. So the COMELEC
Referendum,
becomes
we
the
call for
referendum.
referendum,
It becomes powerless now. It has to say, this is the initiative of the people.
Hindi nagagamit ng PICOS yan.
Wala na.
Manual na lang. Buti pa.
Yes or no?
Verification.
Verification. Verification.
Verify na yung signature mo. Kung ikaw
nga
nga
pala,
yun.
nag-verification.
Wala na PICOS.
Okay. So, we render COMELEC useless. Now we go into getting candidates. How many assemblymen? How would we call them?
Before
We
it's
call them assembly, di ba?
one delegate per congressional district.
Ayun. So same as
Tanggalin
natin yung party list.
wala na yung party list.
Wala
Wala
na
yung party list. Yung
So,
congressional district.
210.
210 or 220
parang
congressional
gano'n, 210
delegates.
to 20.
They are now the CONCON delegates.
Correct. CONCON delegates.
Yes.
So,
Constitutional Convention.
Convention.
Constitutional Convention delegates now.
How do we screen out alam mo naman, dito hanggang barangay, pinapasukan ng mga pinsan nila, aso nila.
Well, doon na
asawa
nga,
nila.
because of the dynasty issue, mga tao, alam na, the people are aware already that mga itong
ayaw na
mukhang
ng
ito,
tao.
yumayaman sa ating...
So, hindi mo iboboto yung mga
Anti-dynasty.
nagbabayad, nagbibigay ng
Nagbabayad.
pera, mga
That's
nag-e-epal.
the point. Yes, mga
Lalabas na ang
nag-e-EPA.
bagong leaders. Yan ang gusto natin sa anti-dynasty.
Magkakaroon
So,
naman
in
yun.
the exercise, you're already getting new leaders.
Yun.
Correct. That's the
I
point,
see
Eric.
the
Ina-harness mo na yung new
Sana
leaders
na.
to lead
So,
the
in the
country.
event of the next election, andun na lang.
Nandun na,
The stage
oo.
is set.
That's why it's very important na mag-ingay tayo about kontra ng pork barrel because we are educating the people now.
So the process
Preparation
itself
to that.
is a step and a ladder going towards the proper the proper style dapat, strategy.
Strategy.
So in other words, pag may umepal dyan, may namili ng boto, or bastos, dynasty,
Yan. Tignan
mapapahiya
yan.
siya.
Correct.
Immediately.
Alam mo, Harry, yung aming samahan, alam mo, 5 months lang kami na nakampanya, wala kaming pondo.
Signature campaign. Yeah. Volunteer.
Pinagsalita lang kami sa mga katedral, sa mga pulpito ng mga
Kaibigan, sa
CBCB,
Narvacan.
yung mga sumusuporta sa amin. Nanalo kami, we were able to reduce dynasty by about 20%.
Yes, congratulations,
5
yes.
months lang.
Di halos,
Nagbigay lang kami ng comics type of explaining to them what the evils are of dynasty.
Dynasty.
People understood, alam na ng tao. Ayaw rin ng tao ito. Kaya lang, kontrolado nga sila ng mga warlords.
Mga
Yeah.
warlords.
This
Yun.
time, kung gagawin natin ito, mawawala na ang warlords.
Once and for all.
Oo, mawawala na dito. Ang tao na ngayon ang pipili.
How do we get rid of the president? Or we don't get rid of him. We use the president to promote the initiative and the charter change.
Yeah.
Ideal.
Ideal.
Pero matigas ang ulo ng presidente. He doesn't
Lalambot
believe
din
that
yan.
there's a problem in the country.
Well, that is
He
according to
thinks
his...
we're a rising tiger, di ba?
Excuse me, iisa lang siya eh.
It's only one.
Iisa lang siya.
Yeah, pero
you see,
trillion ang ano niyan, discretionary
pero,
fund.
pero if we get 10 million signatures, how can the
Even
president go against that?
So the
Or the 10 million will go against him directly. This is the last peaceful remedy that we have to succeed in before we come into anything that would shed
A
blood.
revolution will follow.
Will the charter change delegates be subjected to Congress and the President? No.
No,
They're
no, 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 no,
independent.
no. Referendum
It
na
cannot-
to the COMELEC. We're asking that the COMELEC
So
should-
we will need a new area to get together to discuss these issues. Why
Yes.
not? Magkano lang yun? So, no big deal.
No big deal.
Because right now, all the issues which are in court now can be questioned on its constitutionality.
Correct.
So it doesn't mean to say na kung
Not because
napasa yung FOI bill, yun na yun. Hindi.
No. There will
One
still
brilliant
consequences.
mind again can question that. So wala, no,
Yeah.
never ending yun, never ending. But with
But
the
the
charter
Constitution,
change, yan ang aming pinagbatian na matagal. Na kung yung mga ganyang, they can question that. Pero kung charter
change mismo ang papalit.
nobody can question it anymore. It becomes law.
Oh, it becomes law. Hindi na kailangan, you
Wala
don't have to
na-
arbitrate.
wala na-
Walang
Yes.
arbitration.
Yes.
How long do you think it will take the convention, the constitutional charter change, delegates, assemblymen, whatever we call them, how long should we give them? 1 year? 2 years?
A year will do.
A year
A
only?
year.
Tama na?
Tama na.
Maybe,
So in other words,
maybe that can be taken up later on.
As we go
we
along.
go on.
So
when we
detalye na yan,
get
detalye na yan.
together,
Later na yun.
we'll decide.
So, implementation na yun as you go along.
Oh,
Yes,
as we
yes.
go along.
As you go along.
Kasi tao na talaga ito. People's initiative.
But no singular leader. The leader is the people themselves. And all
correct.
the group
They are the real boss, actually.
Of
If-
course, in
to use the word
in
of,
the convention, usually there is the leader, yung chairman.
No. It's the delegate now who will choose their leader.
yun na
Like
nga.
what they did in the 1987 Constitution,
they will elect-
1971. Diosdado, former President Diosdado Macapagal was president, the first elected president of the Constitutional Convention.
The delegates.
For order lang.
For
For
order.
order lang naman yun. Not
And
because
then they
he's
will
hired.
create
Has to be,
committees, so just like the Senate. Lahat sila kung one, then they will elect
Pare-pareho.
their own. The same with Congress. They will elect their speaker.
Kailangan may anchorman.
Of course,
chairman.
somebody
Only
has
for organization purpose.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
not because one gets more powerful
No,
than the
no,
other.
no.
And then they will make their own policies on how to organize the committees and all and that. They will create as many committees as they can.
At saka walang pork barrel to mga delegates na.
Saka wala pork barrel.
Isa lang ang issue.
Walang pag-aawayan,
charter
patayan,
change.
charter change lang. So, alam mo, ang uupo doon talagang love of country.
Ah.
Talagang
Pero naman matrabaho yan, to ask any delegate
patriotism,
to run.
katulad ng ginagawa lahat nito mga advocacies na ito. Love of country lahat ito.
I encourage those leaders ng advocacy to run to the Constitutional Convention and defend their
Yeah.
This is a
advocacy.
full-time job. This is not
Yeah.
being a congressman or a senator.
Yeah.
This
No,
is,
no.
This is
It's a
even
full-time.
more because you really have to put it together.
But you have only to do it at one time of your life.
Save your country.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the time. Walang ganyang naririnig kang bayang mangilaw, kanta ka ng kanta, no? Nang mamatay para sa dahil
pala
sa'yo.
totoo.
It's
Wala.
just like having a car, a 26 years old car. Makikita mo na yung performance niyan at sometimes yung
bumibigay
give and
na
take, bumibigay na. So we need a new one.
Correct.
That is good for another 20 years or 50 years.
Walang
Let's not change
negative.
the engine. Change the whole car.
Hari, walang negative dito pag-isipan.
Maganda nga pakinggan. Actually, it's very similar to the proposal of Renato Puna, Chief Justice Renato Puna. It's very similar, except yung kanya, actually pareho rin. He just uses a
Pork barrel
different
yung
word.
kanya
Yeah.
No, charter change then, but it's called People's Initiative, which is very much the same thing.
Yeah.
Because they believe the only way you can change everything is through constitutional change.
Yeah.
Hindi na kaya na miski ano eh. And a one-time, big time is a very appropriate para maintindihan ng masang tao.
One time.
And besides, itong pork barrel at saka itong mga FY dynasty, it's only a part of the body. Lahat yung body, it's an old body. You need a new
it's
one.
cancer-stricken.
Yeah.
Talaga. Kasi, imagine, this is the only country I observe that all the branches of government are corrupt.
Yes, all branches.
All branches.
Kakaya. Saka
Parang
mga senador,
they
may
institutionalize,
Diba?
they
Senator,
institutionalize corruption.
Yung mga
In this
akisasyon
government.
kay sino yung president natin, si Drillo, may gani. It's
Grabe.
so shameful, no? Di ba
Shameful.
di ba? Ikaw may
Pinila sa kanya ni Siguko.
pero,
It's unbelievable.
My God.
Di ba?
Yung ano yun, building na
Yung
pinatay
building
na,
na
that's
yun,
200 million at that time. Ang laki nun.
Yeah, but no one wants
sabi
to
nga
go
nung
inside.
iba-
Baka bumagsak.
Yan na, that's the problem.
Sabi na iba, bakit di tayo gumawa ng shame game? Pahiyain natin lahat yan. Sabi ko unang-una, kaya nga sinarsin dyan, dahil wala nang hiya yan eh. Ano pa, ikay hiya, man? Di ba?
Pero
Walang
kaya
yan
lang
lang.
eh. And then we can also address all the other institutions that are beginning to lose or have already lost its integrity. COA being one of them. I mean, believe ako eh, pag Liberal Party ka, you cannot do wrong.
Selective.
Selective. Tama si Estrada
Tama si
dyan.
Jinggoy eh.
Tama
Yung
si-
selective justice.
Selective
talaga.
justice.
Tama si Jinggoy. And it's now ongoing yan.
And change our judiciary as well. Reform our judiciary.
Yeah.
This will do all of that.
Yeah, because the judiciary is our biggest ill. To me, that's the first and foremost to reform in this country.
Yes.
That's why if judiciary, now the pork barrel is at their table.
Yes.
If they will make it constitutional, I'm sure any one of them will suffer what Corona did. Gagamitin yung pera yan para tanggalin sila.
Titirahin na naman sila.
Titirahin sila. So if I were them, talaga namang unconstitutional eh.
Pero alam mo, takot ang judiciary, takot ang Supreme Court sa presidente. It's obvious naman eh. I mean, they're all scared of the president.
Yeah, but if they allow him that na constitutional yun, mas more sila na. No?
So this is the only way
rather
you
abolish
believe that
yan.
we can address the president and stop him from his legal, extra-legal, let's call it extra-legal dictatorship of the current system.
Yeah.
In the meantime, let's do what we're doing now. Let's be vigilant. Let's put all the pressure where we should put it. Let's do our job before we get into getting together and coming up with one time, big time.
Yeah, in addition, while we're working on this, lahat na makita natin na pagnanakaw sa gobyerno, idemanda natin sila. Let them know. In
Once
other
and
words,
for all. And put them
for all.
behind bars.
Put them behind bars. Kahit sabihin nila, i-dismiss nila, we see to it that practically lahat ng empleyado ay may kaso ka-corrupt. That shows that this government doesn't deserve a second to run this government.
Baka umabot dito sa presidente, impeachment. Kaya umiiwas pa sila eh. Ako hindi naman ako magnanakaw eh. Diba?
Panic
Umiiwas
nga eh,
sila.
panic.
But people are
Yeah.
starting to think of how they're going to get to the president. I think a certain person already filed planned impeachment charges against him.
Yes, si Lozano.
Oliver,
But again, when the president say that hindi kami magnanakaw, it so happened that Senator Trillanes filed anti-graft case against his uncle, Piping Kuangco
Piping
of
Kuangco.
Philippine. I heard that he filed charges against it. So yun na lang.
Tsaka si Ping, parang bumali na kay Pinoy.
Medyo lumambot na. Ano?
Ayaw na. Breakaway na.
Sa impression ko, yung statement, yung last na statement ni Presidente, just like Gloria Macapagal did when he said, I'm sorry.
Same.
I think pareho yan, and if the President will not change his attitude and his action, kung hindi niya ma-arrest
So it's an
problema
admission of guilt.
Admission of guilt. Pabagsak na yan. The credibility will go down further.
He does not
We have to
have to
act
lose
now.
anything. He's not going to run for the president again next term. Di na eh. This is the time wherein he could glorify himself as the best
Well, we
president.
don't have to take out the president. We're not threatening
No.
him.
No, it's not.
What we want him is to join the people in fixing it because you're having a hard time.
Yeah.
Right.
Let us help you because we are the people, in other words.
Yeah.
So you join us and you can facilitate, it can make it life easier for us.
To
towards
everybody.
this.
To everybody.
If he joins this and he listens to the people. After
Yeah.
all, di ba tayo yung boss? I think dapat tayo yung
Dapat
boss.
tayo
We
mapakinggan.
also still respect him.
Yeah.
No, up to now, he's the, still, para sa akin, kaya nga kahit na mag-charter change,
the most honest president.
mag-extend ng term ng president, I still prefer him to run again than any other
Incompetent
potential
lang eh.
this one.
But you know, incompetence can be very dangerous. It can be a very, very dangerous act.
It could be tame. Alam mo, may problema talaga yung the people around the president. That's
Isa
what
pa
I
yun.
see.
Ako, I don't agree nga if pag nilagay ka at in-out ka ng Senado, o ang blue ribbon, di ba?
Yeah, right.
Pag binaypass ka, dapat out ka na eh.
Out ka na, right.
Dapat, di ba? In the old days, ganun eh.
Dapat.
Ngayon, hindi.
Walang
Hindi
palabra
pala.
di honor eh.
Wala.
Just like the cabinet of Gloria Macapagal Arroyo.
She did the same
Look
thing.
at Reyes. How
Actually,
many
she also
times
started
did
the
he-
impounding of the funds.
Funds,
Gloria
that's
GMA did the same thing.
So, the mistakes committed by the previous administration are being committed now.
Gentlemen, we're already top of the hour, and to do this in 1 hour, ang bilis ng patakaran. Let's start with Quintin Paredes and Diego. What would be your final message to our viewers in this show?
Mga kababayan, mga nakakasama namin sa lakbayan na isaayos natin ang ating sarili, unang-una, at gawin natin lahat ng makakaya natin sa pagmamahal sa bayang ito. Iisa na lang ito. Iisa na lang itong pagkakataon na ito. Nakita na natin lahat ng problema. Alam na natin lahat ng problema. At lahat yan ay gusto nating solusyonan. Ang tanong ano ba ang solusyon? Kami ngayon ay puspusang nakikipag-usap sa lahat ng sangay na kung sino magkakasama upang humanap ng isang solusyon, upang bigyan ng isang solusyon lang ang lahat ng problema natin. Ito na nga yung ating pinopropose ngayon sa programa ni Harry, yung one time, big time. Ito yung hihimayin na natin ang buong bituka ng ating bansa upang tanggalin na natin lahat ng sakit nito at mailalagay natin. Ito ay hindi imposibleng gawin. Ito ay pwede natin gawin kung tayong lahat ay magkakaisa. Kaya ako po ay nananawagan, unang-una na, doon sa mga nagli-leader ngayon, sa karamihan ng mga movements na kanya-kanyang issues ang ipinaglalaban, magkaisa na po tayo sa isang usapin lang, yung one time, big time, charter change. At pagtulungan ho natin yan, sigurado po tayong magwawagi. Marami ho salamat.
Thank you very much, Ting. We also have Edgar Bakungan. What would be your message to our viewer? Final message.
Yeah, final message. Yeah, at least mga kababayan, manalangin po tayo na sana magkaisa na tayo. Alam niyo po, pahirap ang buhay. At kung hindi natin mabigyan ng solusyon itong problemang ito, at alam na rin natin ang problema, yung mga namumuno sa ating gobyerno at yung konstitusyon natin mismo. Ito ang solusyon, pagkakaisahan po natin kung gusto niyong gumanda ang kinabukasan ng ating mga anak. We're doing this not because of us, but because of the future of our children. Ito po ay magkaisa po tayo na palitan na natin ng ating konstitusyon at yun lamang po ang alam kong lunas at solusyon para wakasan ang kahirapan at tayo naman mga Pilipino ay umangat at umasenso. Na totoong asenso, na hindi yung iba lang ang umasenso, pero sabay-sabay tayong aasenso, magkaisa po tayo, tuunan natin, itaguyod natin itong pagpalit ng ating konstitusyon. At God bless the Philippines. Maraming salamat.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, unless you're the president and his men and the PR propaganda of the group, you too will believe, together with some foreign survey presentations and promotions, that the country is well on its way. It's called the rising tiger. And for Asia, we're supposed to be the leading 6.7, 7.1, 7.2 growth in the industry compared to our neighbors in the ASEAN. That's okay if you're a Martian and you believe all that information. But if you're Filipino and you live in the Philippines and you don't live in Mars, pero in this country, in the islands, in the 7,100 islands, the reality on the ground is totally different. It's not what the TV tells you or just the print. All you need to do is look around you. Ladies and gentlemen, don't be the Martian. Come down to earth. Find out, know the truth. Here's a solution that's being offered to you. As I always say in this show, alam niyo po, critical thought lang yan. I'm not telling you what to do because it's not my business to tell you what to do. It's the President's business to tell you what to do. Ang problema, he's talking to Martians. Maraming salamat po. Thank you very much.
I love that.
You are what you watch.